Shabbat Shalom, welcome. Shalom Aleichem can be found on page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ruachem leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ruachem leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ruachem leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch leshalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elion, Mimelech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. איי איי איי, צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
This Shabbat, along with the coming Shabbat next week, are special Shabbatot because they bookend this coming Wednesday's Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, which is considered the saddest day of the Jewish calendar, when we remember the destruction of the temple, amongst other Jewish calamities in history. This Shabbat before Tisha B'Av is specifically called Shabbat Chazon, a Shabbat of vision, in reference to Isaiah's prophecy before the destruction of the temple. We learn that the temple was destroyed from sinat chinam, baseless hatred that was without purpose or reason. And in his prophecy, Isaiah implores the people, cease to do evil, learn to do good, in recognition that no individual and no group of people are beyond the ability to repair and act from a place of love instead of hate. Shabbat Chazon teaches us that with the proper foresight and hopefully a lot of love, redemption is always possible. We begin our service with page 2 and the candle lighting, and I'd like to invite up Karen and Mark Revo.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen.
Vayihi Erev, Vayihi Boker Yom HaShishi. Vayihulu HaShamayim Haaretz V'kol Tzva'am. V'yachal Elohim b'yom hashvi melakto asher asa. V'yishbot b'yom hashvi mikol melakto asher asa. V'yavarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kadesh oto. Ki vo Shabbat mikol melakto asher barak Elohim la'asot.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
Page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We turn to page 15 for Psalm 98.
Nai, nai, nai. nai nai na na nai na nai oh nai 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 na na nai 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 please join me nai 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 na 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 nai ya nai 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 na 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 nai hariu לאדוני כל הארץ לאדוני כל הארץ לאדוני כל הארץ פיצחו ורננו פיצחו ורננו וזמרו ורננו וזמרו ורננו וזמרו איי 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 נאי 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 נא נא נאי נא נאי או נאי 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 נא נא נאי נא נאי זמרו לאדוני בכינור בכינור וכל זמרה זמרו לאדוני בכינור וכל זמרה נאי נא נא נאי נא נאי או נאי 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 נא 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 נאי 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 נא נא נאי נא נאי או נאי 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 נא נאי 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 נאי
We turn to page 20 to bring in Shabbat with Lecha Dodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה שמעו וזכו בדיבור אחד ישמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמוני ים סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
We remain standing in spirit or in body, and we turn to page 28 for our call to worship.
Yai la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la. Yai la la, yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la. Lay la la lay 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 ya la lay 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 la la lay lay la la lay la lay lay la la lay 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 baruchu et Adonai ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
You may be seated. Page 30.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו מעריב ערבים בחוכמה פותח שערים. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun, you unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro מעריב ערבים בחוכמה פותח שערים. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
The structure of our upcoming section of prayers, Shema u'birchotecha, Shema and its surrounding blessings, is often casually referred to as a love sandwich. In the evening, we recite Ahavat Olam before the Shema and Ve'ahavta after the Shema, both of which focus on the theme of love. So we have our Shema sandwiched right in the middle. Ahavat Olam focuses on the love that God shows us through the gift of Torah. And Ve'ahavta focuses on the love that we show God through our mitzvot and our deeds. So why, we might ask, is our central prayer of Shema sandwiched between these two blessings of love? Perhaps it's because listening, really hearing another person is a true act of love. To hear the words of another, to fully ingest their words, whether they anger us or whether they ignite us, is to acknowledge the true humanity of the other, to honor their thoughts, their ideas, their belief, their self. And so we engage with this love sandwich in our liturgy, recognizing that in order to truly be receptive, in order to truly hear, we must first open our hearts with a little bit of love.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. We read responsively on page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, in a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף פלא, נורא תהילות אוסף פלא. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
We now turn to Hatfilah, the central prayer of our service, as we search for a connection to the past, to the present, and to the holy. We turn to page 46 and rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה, אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל לחיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue independently with the words in our heart or on the page.
page 62. יהיו לרצון אם אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך. May the words I say and the things that I feel be embraced by you, my parents, my God, my friend. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך והגיון ליבי לפניך.
Shabbat Shalom. You may have heard the chant, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." That old adage just isn't true. Most of the time, actually, bones heal, but there are some words that we never forget. Some incredibly uplifting, inspiring, and comforting, while others harmful, painful, and blazing. I'll never forget the words of my social justice professor at my alma mater, a beautiful Jesuit institution. I was thrilled the day that I registered for his class successfully because it filled up the second the website went live. He was beloved. And it was everything I had dreamed of. I so looked forward to attending class along with my fellow social justice warriors, filled with college-aged ideals and a calling to save the world. I would savor every word, every tale, every message, and go home and journal about it every evening, eventually filling up an entire notebook with my thoughts and reflections. And then one day, he let us know about a film he would be showing, open to the whole campus, but mandatory for us to attend. At the name Occupation 101, I was concerned. But after watching the film that can only be called propaganda, I was aghast. Luckily, I had brought my friend Or with me, one of the only Israelis on campus. As the film quieted and the lights flicked back on, the professor, in front of the entire auditorium, said the words etched into my memory for eternity. "Joanne and Or, how do you feel about the fact that your people created terrorism?" And everything else was a blur. The next day, I went back and forth. I could keep quiet, or I could speak out against one of the school's most beloved professors. But 20-year-old me didn't really feel like I had a choice. So I called the Hillel director, who called the ADL, and soon I sat in a room at a table with representatives from both organizations, as well as people from my school and the professor. I said the words, which would ultimately remove him from his position as adjunct professor indefinitely. Words have power, the power to change, the power to move, the power to scare, the power to uplift, and the power to unite. This week, as I find most often, the ancient and the modern intertwine in an eerily close manner. In Parshat Devarim, Moses begins with his book-long speech to the people of Israel, reflecting on their past, what they have learned, from where they came, and gazing toward their future, urging them to work together as a community in the Promised Land. And today, in the present, or Wednesday rather, President Isaac Herzog of Israel delivered a speech to the joint session of Congress. Devarim translated to words or things, but in this case in the book of Devarim, the last book of the Torah, Moses' words are not just words, they're his legacy, his lasting impact to get the message across and unite the community before it's too late. Similarly, but under different circumstances, President Herzog comes to Congress this week in a historic moment, as only the second Israeli president to speak to a joint session of Congress, the first being his father, President Chaim Herzog, in 1987. His 40-minute speech addressed such powerful issues, and his message is clear. When it comes to the relationship between America and Israel, no matter where you stand on all of the numerous issues, we are family. I would have never expected a room such as that, filled with the congresspeoples and lawmakers of the United States, all of them, not all of them, but many of them, erupting in an applause and standing ovations in unison as the Israeli president spoke words encouraging democracy and diplomatic relations, friendship, and family. This kinship is in the foundation, at the core of our relationship, as the Israeli president recalled that America was the first country to recognize the state of Israel just 11 minutes after its declaration of independence. Devarim, these words forever tether us together. Yet we know that this is a hope and dream, and we are not all, in fact, united. While it gave me the chills to watch congresspeople on all sides of the aisle rise in honor of his words, some, as I mentioned, were absent. And some words, as I mentioned in the beginning, vilify. Representative Premila Jayapal of Washington, the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, had to, quote, walk back her remark for calling the country a racist state. And she went on to qualify her statement, saying, quote, words do matter, and so it is important that I clarify my statement. I do not believe that the idea of Israel as a nation is racist. And that's an important distinction. A racist policy versus a racist state are two very different statements. They were so troubling that, according to news sources, 43 congressional Democrats condemned her statement. They wrote, Israel is the legitimate homeland of the Jewish people, and efforts to delegitimize and demonize it are not only dangerous and anti-Semitic, but they also undermine America's national security. President Herzog may have been addressing this in other comments about Israel bordering the line of anti-Semitism, as he said, I'm not oblivious to criticism among friends, including some expressed by respected members of this House. I respect criticism, especially from friends, although one does not always have to accept it. But criticism of Israel must not cross the line into negation of the state of Israel's right to exist. Questioning the Jewish people's right to self-determination is not legitimate diplomacy, it is anti-Semitism. And I am often afraid to speak on this as a rabbi, I'll admit. But just like when I was 20, there are some words that just must be said. Anti-Zionism, delegitimizing the state of Israel and its right to exist, is anti-Semitism. Sometimes, often, speaking out, calling out, using our words can be uncomfortable. Devarim. I found myself disappointed by the missing members of Congress on the left and the members of Congress on the right who remained seated when the president beamed about Israel's incredible pride parade. It's okay to speak out about our feelings and communicate openly and honestly about things we wish were different, and hopes we have for our future. These are all words which are important, words which can change the trajectory of the future, of our future. Words matter, not just the words of leadership, but the words as well of our community. President Herzog many times throughout his address detailed circumstances he wished were better and dreams of peace for all of our future. As the speech concluded, I felt immense pride to be from a country whose Congress people cheered on President Herzog's message of democracy. He spoke of democracy being at the core of Israel's DNA, as it is for us too here in America. He reminded all of them and all of us with his quote, ultimately, Israel and the United States stand and indeed have always stood for the same values. Our two nations are both diverse, life-affirming societies that stand for liberty, equality, and freedom. At our core, both peoples seek to repair the cracks in the world. Devarim. President Herzog used his words to inspire and unite nations, celebrating 75 years of the modern state of Israel. This comes thousands of years after Moses in our Torah portion gazed into that very same land of Israel, addressing the community to come together. Words have the power to imprint us. They can bless or curse. They can create or destroy. And my blessing for us, as I would like to use my words as blessing on this Shabbat, is for us to use the power of words for good, to communicate often, speak up when necessary, praise people, and pray to God. Let us use our words to repair the cracks in our world and come together. Shabbat Shalom.
As Rabbi Loibin so eloquently shared with us, words have power to do a lot. And I hope that tonight our words also have the power to heal ourselves and to heal those who we're holding in our hearts and those who we love. And so tonight, if you're thinking of anyone who's in need of healing of the body or of the mind, healing of the spirit, I invite you to share their name out loud with this community, to say their name so that we can all hear it and share together in their healing. Danielle Ben Moshe. We turn to Misha Berach, our prayer of healing on page 253.
נעלה אלנה רפה, נעלה אלנה רפה, נעלה אלנה רפה, נעלה אלנה רפה, נעלה Elena refanala, Elena refanala, Elena refanala.
We wish all of our loved ones a refuah shlema, a complete and whole healing. At this point, we move towards the conclusion of our service with Aleinu on page 282. I'd like to invite you to rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
At this time, we turn our thoughts to those who are no longer here with us in body, but who are here with us in spirit. We remember those who have died in recent days, as well as in years past, and we link their names to the 6 million Jews who perished in the Shoah, to the brave who have fought and died for our Jewish homeland, and to those who have given their lives to serve this country as well. In the past 30 days, we remember Charlene Packer, Noel Weiss, Norman Siegel, Louis Cohen, Paula Turkin, Joyce Julian, Jorge Mordechovich, Stanley Levick, Richard Conway, and Jeffrey Brandon. We also observe the yahrzeits of Maury Baranek, Sylvia Cohen, Dolores Corshan, Ethel Lubin Nicely, Albert J. Ratson, Lillian Rosen, Samuel Schwartz, Sarah Rosalia Seiler, Ruth Brown Shapiro, Herman N. Wertheimer, Bernard Abrams, Abdo Akar, Jack Applebaum, Samuel Benson, Sidney Berkowitz, Jocelyn Berman, Stephen E. Chaikin, Dorothy Cohen, Marie Dodd, Muriel Dobrow, Nathan Esformas, Rose Friedwald, Anne Gawant, Samuel Halpern, Max Holtz, Vivian Jackson, Esther Jacobson, Lillian Kaufman, Donald Ira Kaufman, Nicholas Kupferman, Isidoro Lehrman, Michael A. Lipsky, Rita Marcus, Jeanette Nathanson, Yehuda Neer, David Pearson, Ruth Ruff, Ann Schindel, Melvin Starker, Saul Taman, Sila Tronner, Alejandrina Valdez, Paul Warren, and Hella Whitehorn. At this time, I'd like to invite you all to share the names of your loved ones as well, or repeat a name if I've mispronounced it. So I'd like to invite you all to please rise if you're in a period of mourning and share names with the community, if you wish. Please remain standing.
Alexandra Emma Gerson, Jason Palawas, John Stratton, Catherine Sarah Griffin, Mari
Thank you. I'd like to invite the entire community to rise as we recite the Mourner's Kaddish together in support of one another on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Belma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shmei dekudasha, brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'miran belma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama rabba, min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael, V'imru, amen.
Amen.
Zichronam livracha. May their memories continue to be a blessing to all of us. You may be seated. I'd like to remind everyone that tomorrow morning we have Torah study at 9:30 and Shabbat morning minyan at 10:30. And we close our service tonight with Oseh Shalom.
If you are inclined to rise and link up, you're welcome to do so. Oseh shalom bimromav, Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, hu ya'aseh shalom, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oseh shalom bimromav, Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, hu ya'aseh shalom, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. 1, 2, 3. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down. Shabbat shalom. Beautiful sermon. Can I read it?
Yes.
Please send it to me.